my mind to another day. You come now, I feel your way. Now show me where.
Welcome back to my channel where we analyze, deal, review properties, and feature different properties and look over the buying and selling of different properties. If you're new to the channel, my name is Meyers, an investor and a realtor and an outdoor enthusiast here in Boise, Idaho. Today, we're here in Southeast Boise. We're analyzing a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse. Super special one because this is a property that I actually purchased myself. It was a fully remodel. We basically gutted the whole dang thing. We're in Southeast Boise, so it was a great opportunity to jump on a property like this one. The sellers wanted to originally sell it. I looked over it and said, hey, I'm actually wanting to buy it. This is a great opportunity for an investment. I'll explain why here shortly. The main key features of an investment property in Southeast Boise alone, really you just want to have the location down and make sure the numbers work. We can dive into the numbers much later, but first of all, this townhouse was basically going to be a flip. I had some rehab people come in, take a look at it. I wanted to get their numbers and kind of their ballpark of what their money into it, what they would have to put into it to get this thing to sell. After I got those numbers, I analyzed what it could do to me. I'm a little bit familiar with doing it myself, but of course contracting it out was going to be key in this and getting this remodeled the proper way that I want it to function. Of course, it is always good to have the right people in place. If you have contractors, if you have tile guys, if you have roofers, drywall. If you don't, feel free to reach out to me. I got a plethora here in Boise, Idaho that I can definitely send your way. That definitely helped with this opportunity alone. The main thing here with the kitchen, it was very small. We had to really open it up. We had to move the actual sink location to more of an island, and we had to be able to create that space where it can bleed into the living room, the fire area, and of course the functionality of the kitchen. Upstairs was pretty bad. We had a lot of animal urine. We had to rip that up. We had to take out the carpet. We even had to replace the subfloor. A lot of it that we had to do, of course, was using some of the kill paint. We had to do multiple coats just to get the paint and the smell out from the old stench of the property, and of course get it repainted and layer it and layer it and layer it. After that, we had to take out some of the sidewall and the drywall out of there because it had bled in, the urine had bled into some of the wall, and we had to take that out as well. So when you talk about a full gut remodel, we did it. Even the plumbing was polybutylene, which was a lot outdated. There was a small leak, so we actually had to replumb it as well. So if you need a good plumber, feel free to reach out to me. I got the right guys that will put the right pieces in place. Bathrooms were in great condition. Of course, I wanted to redo all the vanities, do all the countertops. There's a great tile company here in Boise that I used and outsourced a lot of that here. A lot of the actual furniture and items that are personal items here were actually found on Facebook Marketplace. I did it very reasonably cheap, cost effective. When I had quotes on some of the investors that came in here, their rehab cost was going to be around $30,000 to $35,000. I invested a little bit more because I knew this was going to be my own personal one. I didn't want to just slap paint on the pig and flip it and turn around. I actually was going to buy and hold this property primarily due to the location. The location here in Southeast Boise is actually ideal. You're only about 5 minutes away from Boise State University, which of course helps the increase on the rental rate. You're about 10 minutes away from St. Luke's, also great for an investment for rental, short-term and long-term. And then of course, Micron expansion. Micron expansion here in Boise is also a big key factor that's gonna help out with an investment property here, whether you're gonna be buying and holding, or whether you're gonna just do the rehab and flip it. Nonetheless, the location was gonna be dynamite. I had no problem investing a little bit more money into this one. I bought this property just this past year. It was July of 2025. It took over 3 months to do the full remodel. Of course, when I had to redo the whole plumbing, that took a little bit of while, and then of course had to remove the kitchen, which I moved the island around. So again, from start to scratch, I invested over around $40,000, give or take, but it took over 4 months to do. One of the key factors when buying real estate here in Boise, Idaho is going to be, of course, the overall cost, what's going to cost you, and the repair value, which is the AVR. After repair value, really it's going to be how much money can you throw into the property to rehab it to make sure that it actually hits the market standard price point. Of course, trying to buy a property where it's distressed is always key because you can get it at under market value, then try to do the rehab cost to factor in to see if you can either break even where it's actual to market value value or going to be a little bit above market value. That analyzation, feel free to reach out to me, but there's definitely platforms. I'll have a link here where you can do a calculation analysis. For me, it was super simple. I'm a real estate agent here in Boise, Idaho, so I can look at property values, I can run comparables. So I already knew the ins and outs of what this property was currently priced at, what it would be if we just sold it on the open market, as well as how much value you'd want to put into it to actually break even or make a little bit of chunk of change if I was to flip the property and turn around and put it on market as of today. Now, I know a lot of you might be asking, how much did I get the property for? Well, I'll disclose that information because it's not public record for most people, but for us realtors, we can look that up. I ended up buying the property for around $320,000. Of course, as me being a realtor, I had a little bit of inside knowledge as well as cost differentiation that I had to do to build into that. So I got it for a pretty good value. Of course, as you can see from the video and pictures before, it's pretty distressed, hadn't been touched since the original home was actually built in 1990. So really nothing was touched. Now appraised value, if I was to throw this property back on the market as of today, I could most likely probably get around 420 for $430 out of it as of today's market. This is now, of course, January of 2026, but of course, I'm looking for the long-term gain here. The long-term gain is going to appreciate in value as the market continues to grow here in Boise, Idaho. As people always ask, when's the best time to buy real estate? I always say yesterday was. So when in doubt, always run the numbers, make sure it makes sense, reach out to an expert, reach out to your realtor, or reach out to me. I'm happy to help you out, take a look at some deals, and run some numbers for you. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thanks again for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next real estate deal.